What's it like to live as a female expat in Asia? What happens if you run out of money when you're living overseas or you commit a crime? Is your embassy or high commission under any obligation to help you out at all? And what's it like on the day to day basis for a woman who works a regular job of 10 hours a day, 5 days a week, to do on the weekend? What does she get up to on the weekend? Well, if those questions or anything about the expatriate experience in Asia are of interest to you, it is great to have you with me. My name is Wendy, and for more than 3 decades, I've lived and worked in 5 different countries in Asia, and I still live and work in Asia these days in Thailand. And today, you've caught me on a Sunday, which is one of my days off, and I'm going to I'm going to take you along with me as I get through what is a fairly regular Sunday for somebody who works the type of hours that I do and lives in the place that I do. Now, I would like to say now hello to all of the new viewers who will be watching this, because my last video, where I actually asked whether or not people just wanted me to do videos about facts or they'd like to know a little bit about my life, gave a vote, and they suggested that they would like to know more about my actual lifestyle, what it's like to live as me. So that's why I'm sharing that today. And I did pick up quite a lot of viewers and a lot of subscribers recently. So hello and welcome to you. So as you can see, I'm actually sitting outside a mall. There's a fountain nearby. I've probably chosen a really bad place to do this. But anyway, that's what we're doing. And the reason for that is because it is a Sunday morning. And on a Sunday, a couple of things happen in my household. So on a Saturday, I try and spend as much time as I can socializing. So yesterday, I belonged to a walking group. We went to a nice walk, and then I caught up with some girlfriends. We had a sort of fun, crafty, cocktaily afternoon. That was really terrific. But Sunday's the day that I've got to get everything in order for my house to run successfully for the next week, because I do work quite long hours and it's a fairly hectic job. So I don't have a lot of brain space after work or anything to get this stuff done. So today is Domestic Goddess Day, and that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm going to take you along with me. And I'm going to show you the costs of some things, because I do have another video, which I will link, about domestic help, or how people have domestic help in Asia and what that costs and what that feels like. I know for a lot of people that is one of the things that kind of appeals to them, right? And I understand that, because honestly, in all the time that I've been in Asia, I've been very lucky. I've always had either full-time live-in help when I had my kids, a domestic helper living with me all of the time, who could help me with cooking, cleaning. I was working, but she'd do the shopping, she'd pay my bills, all of the things that you had. And even when the kids had left home and I was now single, I've still kept up the luxury of having someone clean my house, and not only that, do all of my laundry. So I'm going to include in this video what it costs for me to send my laundry off. I just take it to a lady who works nearby, and pick that up, washed and ironed and folded, and how that sort of helps me out. To some people that must seem like a real luxury. Many people say, why don't you just get a washing machine? But honestly, for the cost and the effort, it's actually more viable for me to have that done. But today what we're going to do is I'm going to I need to pick up a couple of things. One of the things I need to pick up is, believe it or not, some pet food. I have a cat and a dog. They're both rescue animals. So I'm going to pick up some pet food. And I'm also going to buy a mouse for my laptop computer, because I've been fiddling around with the little thing. I don't know, it never works as well for me. So I'm a bit old school. I just need to pick up a mouse. So that's what I'm going to do. But before I do any of that, I'm going to have one of these in just 1 second, which I'm desperately in need of. And later, I'm going to share with you something that I've done, which makes me blush a little bit, because I always swore that I would never, ever do this. But you're going to see my true confession of something that I've bought for my dog that slightly horrifies me, but I hope you'll forgive me for it. Stick around. So I'm taking us back in time a little bit to a little bit earlier this morning. You can see my dog Helicopter with her teddy in her mouth. She always carries a teddy outside. And I'm going to take my laundry down to the laundry lady and pick up last week's laundry. So Helly's come outside and she's spotted her good buddy Chok D. Chok D means good luck in Thai, and Chok D is a very lucky dog, because as a puppy she was found abandoned on a construction site. My next door neighbour
British gentleman and his Thai wife. They have picked her up and raised her, and she's a beautiful dog, very friendly. And Hallie does love her, having her buddy next door. So this is me taking my laundry from this week down to my laundry lady and picking up, as I said, the laundry that I dropped off last week. And the reason that I'm doing that now is because my cleaners will change my bed sheets. So the lady herself, who has the laundry place, she's just down the end of my cul-de-sac road, and she's got washing machines and dryers, and she offers two services: washing and drying, and also washing and drying and ironing. And the way that you pay her is with a QR code, like you do for a lot of places in Thailand. This whole amount of laundry, which is a ton, actually, loads of clothes, towels and sheets, cost me 440 baht. And I had it washed and dried and ironed. And then I went back to the house, and you could see Chok D, and his dad was out, so he was watching the dogs. Chok D and Hallie still having a bit of a play, Hallie pretending to stalk. And then this is the way that they play. She'll run up and they have a bit of a run around, which is lovely, actually, really, for my rescue dog and for the next door neighbour's dog to have a doggy to play with. They get along really, really well. And then I asked Hallie to come with me. You'll see they sort of stopped playing. And I wanted Hallie to come with me in the car. So once we dropped off the laundry, here I am saying to Hallie, come on, we're going in the car. And she likes going in the car, actually. So she had no trouble jumping in. She's got her harness on, and she has a seatbelt inside the car as well. But we're going off to do something that she doesn't do very much. In fact, this is just her second time, because look at what I bought. I bought one of these trolleys that you take your dog in, like a pushchair for babies, except it's for dogs. And I was slightly horrified that I did it, but there's method in my madness. I bought it from a charity that I support. They make their money, this dog and cat rescue charity, by selling secondhand things. So I bought this secondhand, and it didn't cost me as much money as it would have new. And it means that I can take Hallie to the mall. In Thailand, you are more than welcome to bring any pet that you have, including your cat or your lizard or your parrot, just as long as they are enclosed in something. They need to be in some kind of trolley. So I wasn't able to take Hallie out unless she was in a trolley to the mall, and I'll explain in a minute why that is important, particularly on a Sunday. But I happened to notice that the mall that I went to was having some sort of special sale on garden things, which I thought I'd show you, actually, because they've got some really nice stuff. And if you're into gardening or you're into flowers and you want to know like what it costs where I live to buy things, then this might be interesting for you, because they had a lot of lovely flowers, including orchids. Now, orchids can be tricky. They stay alive for me, but they only flower when they feel like it. They never do it every year. I thought these ones were a little bit expensive, to be honest with you. They were charging 1,200 baht. But then I realized that it's a whole display. It's not just one set of orchids. It's like several, and they're on a nice bit of wood. So if you had it in your garden, that'd be your whole sort of setup. Further along, there were other orchids that I thought were more reasonably priced. They certainly had loads of things, and it wasn't a very expensive place all in all. But these orchids seem to be more reasonable. This is 150 baht for a set, and I think that's about what I paid. Like I said, for me, orchids, they just flower when the spirit moves them in my garden. It's not a regular thing. So every time I'm just about to toss them or hand them over to somebody who knows more about flowers, that's when they throw up a stem of flowers and save their own lives. So these ones also 150 baht. I thought that wasn't too bad at all. Lots of beautiful things on display. It is hard to kill plants in Thailand, to be honest with you, because it's warm all the time. There's not really a winter. It's just either hot and wet or hot and dry. And if it's hot and dry, you just have to remember to water your plants. I do have the same people who clean my house come every couple of months and just keep an eye on my plants. I thought these were great. That's 35 baht for cacti, and even I can keep cacti alive, especially in weather like this. You don't really have to do anything. You just sort of leave them alone and they seem to be fine. I pay my cleaners. There's usually 2 or 3 of them come, and I pay them 400 baht per time to clean my house, and I have them come and do that once a week with the 2 pets and myself. That's all I really need. So now we're inside the mall, and the purpose of being in the mall, as I said, was twofold. So one thing, I needed to pick up something to help me with my computer, which is a mouse, which is why we're in the electronics section of this particular mall at the moment. On the 3rd floor, you can buy everything you need. There's Helly in her trolley, looking thoroughly unimpressed, being required to sit in a trolley and be inside a shop. But you can buy everything you need, brands that you know, brands that you don't know. And on this 3rd floor, there are also a lot of places where you can have repairs done. So if you've cracked your screen, or something isn't working, or you need some help, there's all of these stores with very qualified people or very skilled people who know how to fix things. And it's not very expensive, obviously a lot cheaper than if you took your Samsung phone into the Samsung store. You can just go along, and these people have got sort of the parts, and they'll fix all of that stuff. But I was after a computer mouse in particular, so I had to ask somebody where I would find that. And it wasn't in this section. This is where the phones are, but they led me on to the right section. And I found the shop that I needed, which had a lot of different computer parts and other things. And this being in the mall today gets me out of the house and gets the dog out of the house so that the cleaners can come and have a free rein to do what they need to do, use the vacuum cleaner and all the noisy stuff that dogs don't seem to like. So now we're going to find the store that I want. In just a few moments, we're going to head into the actual computer store. Like I said, absolutely everything you need for any of your electronic devices, including the big TVs and all of that sort of stuff as well. TVs seem to be huge these days. So if you're looking for a massive TV or sound system or something like that, absolutely no problem to get it anywhere you are. So wandering along until I find the computer store, and then, ta-da, found it. They had lots and lots of different choices. I was just looking for something basic. I just find that the little touchpad thing doesn't really suit me. I don't find it as sensitive. So they had gaming things and all kinds of things. And I just asked the guy for one that also ran with it had like a USB port as well. So I could use a cable if I wanted to, or use the Bluetooth. And this is the one that I bought, and it cost 290 baht, the one that I wanted. And it came with a 5-year warranty. It's sort of this type of brand. I didn't need anything fancier than that. And like I said, they gave me a 5-year warranty and showed me where the USB was, and they said that it comes with batteries, so that was good. We're downstairs now. Here's a couple of lingerie stores. I'm showing those because I do mention in another video, which I will link, that if you're a size A or B cup or even a C cup, you're going to have a great time living in Asia, because the lingerie is great. And if you're anything larger than a C cup, you need to think about that before you get to Southeast Asia, because you are going to struggle to get a bra. I'm a double D or E size, and boy, do I have trouble getting bras. It is getting better. It is getting easier, but I was almost at the point where I was prepared to have them made, believe it or not. I thought this was funny. So they've got these really beautiful jackets. I mean, really beautifully lined. Some of them are fleecy, really good heavy weather jackets, brand name jackets as well, not copies, like the real deal. 350 baht. You cannot go wrong with that. The thing is, 36 degrees outside and 80% humidity. Nobody in Thailand needs these jackets. So this is all designed for the expats who might travel overseas, or for tourists who want to pick themselves up a bargain. And here we are inside the Lotuses. It used to be called Tesco Lotus. It used to be a collaboration between the brand Tesco from the UK and Lotus is obviously a local brand, but now they just call themselves Lotuses. And we are looking for something in particular. So I grabbed myself a basket, and what we are looking for, although you can buy everything you need for your house and your sporting goods and every single thing that you need inside the store, but what we are looking for in particular is the pet section. And so what I want to buy today is some food for my cat. Oh, sorry, before we get to the pet food section, I noticed that it's back to school season in Thailand. So the schools will go back, the government schools and the local schools will go back shortly. And they had the back to school sales. So that's a universal thing all around the world. And these shirts here are about 69 baht. So government schools all have a quite similar uniform. It's not like each school has a different uniform. If you go to a government school, you probably have a shirt like that. And for the girls, have a skirt like that, or the guys have shorts, not long trousers usually here. So 69 baht for the shirt. And for the skirt, it's around about 120 baht. So it's a little bit more expensive. They're quite modest, obviously. This made me laugh. Here's some loo paper. It's 30 rolls of loo paper, so 24 plus 6 for free for 279 baht. That is not bad at all. But the pet section is what we're after. And I did pay attention to the trolleys to see what the prices were. I'm pleased to say that my trolley is quite a lot bigger than these trolleys. And I paid, secondhand, I paid 1,500 baht, and it's in very good condition. And those ones new were about over 3,000. So I thought I had done very well. Hallie was still not impressed and was almost to the point of not speaking to me. She's panting because she's not having a great time, but she's actually not dying, even though she thinks she is. So there were the trolleys. And now we're going to go and have a look at some of the pet food. So I need to get Harlequin, my cat Quinn, her nickname is Quinn. I need to get her some sachets. She sort of looks at the kibble, but she's not terribly interested. I wish she'd eat more of that. But being a cat, you can't make cat food. They need special things. And even though she was dumped along with her siblings in a colleague's garden, she's quite picky. Here's the kibble for dogs, and it's the same deal. Helicopter does not like any of this stuff, even though she was out in a field and eating, garbage from wherever she could find it. She's not all that keen. So we're back to Quinn's food, and I was pleased to see that the brand that she does like, it was having a bit of a sale, so I could get 5 of those for 80 baht, which I thought was a bit of a bargain. She does put her nose up at any of the cheaper food, which is totally incongruous given that she, probably would have starved to death under any other circumstances. She does like the licky stick things. She won't have, she likes this brand actually. She likes Felix brand, but she doesn't like any of the other cheaper brands. But she likes the licky stick things, and she likes treats. She also goes in for some of Hallie's food actually. I guess sometimes I give her like chicken if she's really keen on it. So these are all the licky stick things, 50 baht for a packet of those. I always find those very expensive. These are cheaper, and of course she won't eat them. So I've bought them and she walks away. I can give Hallie this kind of stuff. So this is the freeze-dried stuff as treats. In a minute you're going to see one of the treats that she really likes, which will probably horrify you. But anyway, that's in a few moments. So bought all of that stuff. This was nice. This is human food. This is jet flown Norwegian salmon. It's fresh. It has not been frozen. And it's super, super expensive. The local seafood, not so expensive. It was 100 baht for those prawns. I think that is a bit much, but they're cooked. This I bought for myself. This is also Norwegian salmon, but it's frozen. I'm not even sure if it's from Norway, but it's also portion packed, so I can do stuff with that. Don't know what's going on here, honestly. This is Maggie Mee, like the noodles, but look at the giant, giant packets. And they also had these giant, giant packets of tuna. And then I had to go and have a look. So I opened it up because I was nosy to see what's going on. And inside they have other Maggie Mee. So you buy this big thing. I don't know, do you keep this in your house? It's like a prop for a play. It's like an oversized tuna tins. I don't know what is going on with that. And I saw other people coming and taking photos of it too, so they were as confused as I was. And it wouldn't be Asia if you didn't have some weird stuff. So this is giant squid legs and squid bits absolutely everywhere. So like I said, if you're squeamish about meat or anything, you need to turn away now, because that's the section that I'm in. This is all the weird stuff that I'm sure is very delicious, like squid neck. But this is the pork. I don't feed Hallie pork anymore. I was for a while to sort of fatten her up, but then she got a bit fat. So I give her a combination of things. This was some duck meat, and I did buy her some duck because duck is leaner and it's very, very good for dogs. So I bought her some duck. This was what I was really after, the chicken, which is very reasonable, 115 baht for a kilo, and also the minced stuff. I get her the chopped up thighs and things. They've also got, all the liver and the tripe and whatever. And it's very, very reasonable, and I can feed her relatively reasonably. I mix it with veg and also some rice, being an Asian dog, she eats rice. This is her favorite. These are the favorite things. She loves these chicken feet. She eats them backwards, so she eats them from the leg part, and that makes all the tendons sort of squirm around with the toes. Sometimes I can't watch it. So this was all the stuff that I was after for her, some hearts and all that kind of stuff. They had Australian beef. This is expensive as well. It's jet flown, it's not frozen. It's 99 baht for 200 grams. And they had also these really astounding slabs of Australian beef. Again, none of it frozen, all jet fresh. But look at the price, 1,159 baht per kilo, which is very expensive when you consider that, local food in Thailand is very, very cheap. Local beef from Thailand, not very good. It's usually buffalo. This is brisket. It's a bit cheaper, but you can get absolutely everything that you want to in Thailand. People who want to live on 1,000 US or less for a month, they won't be eating any of this stuff. And I've done a video on that too, which I will also link. It can be done, but you need to eat locally. That's the secret. But I just thought I'd show you some of the stuff that is available. I didn't buy any of that stuff. I was only in for a couple of reasons. So here we are at the checkout. I believe in other countries these days, they don't fill up the bag for you. In Thailand, they'll still fill the bag for you. So lady was running through. And for 2 weeks worth of cat and dog food and a couple of treats for myself, including the salmon, and I bought a few other bits and pieces. I ended up paying about 1,800 baht to last for the 2 weeks. So let's say 900 baht a week for the animals. There's Hallie still being thoroughly unimpressed. And now she's actually coming out of her trolley because we've made it all the way back to the car. She was so relieved to get out of the trolley and go back into the car, tails wagging. I gave her a chicken foot for being such a very, very good girl, and she sits in the car, and I'll sort her out with a seatbelt in just a minute. But now I'm going to dismantle this trolley, which is done single-handedly, but I couldn't do it single-handedly and then use the camera, so you'll see me struggle a little bit. Now it's quite busy in the mall. When we got there, it was just after 10, like I said, and so, not many people around, but I've been in there for more than an hour now, and so somebody's waiting for my parking spot. So I folded up the trolley and I managed to get it into the boot by myself. And that was our day shopping. I hope you had a good time with me. So there it is. That's how I spend part of my Sunday, preparing for the work week ahead, making sure everybody has enough food so that I don't have to do some last minute shopping, and just trying to get my life in order. I hope you found it interesting. If you've got any comments, anything about perhaps the difference in cost between where you live and I live, any other details that you'd like to know. I forgot to mention just how much laundry was in that laundry. There's about 10 t-shirts, about 6 pairs of shorts, 3 dresses, 2 night dresses, all of my bedding, some towels, a whole bunch of knickers and bras as well. So it was quite a big load for 440 baht, which is not too bad. And as I mentioned, the shopping cost about 1,800 baht, and the mouse that I needed was 290 baht. Hope that gives you some idea. Oh, and the house cleaners, of course, I mentioned they're 400 baht to come and clean the house top to bottom. So how does that compare to where you live? Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed already, only about 30% of all of my viewers subscribe, so don't be one of those. And until we speak again later, I hope you have yourself a wonderful week. Take care. Bye-bye.